Yeah, let's do that. Let me drop this gem on your melon. Open your mind, let your conscience be free. You're now rolling with your man, Louie T double E. Open you up. Get you thinking a little bit. So, I talked about some AFC questions earlier on the show. And I'm going to use one to power social media maneuvers. If you're out there, you want your comment read, use the hashtag LouieTeeLive. We'll open up the show for you guys out there. And again, if you want to jump straight to the front of the line, you know how to do it. Super chats are the way to get that done. However, I want to start out with asking this question. And I kind of struggle with this because I'm a massive fan of Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens have a slew of issues, if you ask me, this offseason. And no one's really talking about this, but Orlando Brown, their massive tackle, who they drafted some 3 years ago, he wants out now. All right, he's going into the final year of his rookie contract. I believe this is the final year of his contract. I remember mocking him and talking about what a ridiculously sluggish athlete this guy was. He was like 350 something pounds, it seemed like, maybe 360 at the combine. He didn't test well. The tape wasn't poor. It wasn't great at Oklahoma. And thus, I'm looking at this guy and I'm saying, there's no way in hell this guy's going to survive in the NFL. They're going to eat his ass alive. They're probably going to have to kick him inside the guard. Well, just like Trent Brown, he figured it out, okay? Just like we're seeing with Mekhi Becton, who I said was the best tackle in last year's draft. He seemed to have figured it out. And there wasn't anything for Mekhi Becton to figure out. He was big. His arms are long. He's an athlete. There's nothing else to talk about. People are like, hey, he's going to eat his way out of the league. Okay, maybe that does happen. But you can't teach his length. You can't teach his athleticism. In that frame, Mekhi Becton is a problem. And he looked the part last year for the Jets. I think we may have overstated, or maybe understated is the right term to use, Orlando Brown's ability. And he wants to play left tackle. You know, the worst thing that happened to the Ravens last year was losing Ronnie Stanley after signing him to that massive extension, because it opened the door for Orlando Brown to get a taste of something the Ravens never thought he would get a taste of in a Ravens uniform, playing a left tackle position. And he played it really well, and there was no drop off. And suddenly he's like, I don't want to play right tackle anymore. Played left tackle at Oklahoma. I'm a left tackle. I'm supposed to be playing left tackle. Enough of this shit. I want to play left tackle. I'm not going back to right tackle. So either you trade me or I'm not playing. We'll see what happens with that situation. Anyway, it's a separate situation, not one that I was looking to answer today and talk about. I want to talk about Lamar Jackson, because there's this debate out there. Can you win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? And I thought I'd ask this question. We got nothing else going on. I thought it was a really interesting question. So I'm going to ask you guys, can you win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? He's 1-3 in the offs in his career. We've talked about this already. Got the monkey off his back this year. He was 0-2 coming into the postseason this year. Won on the road at Tennessee. Lost the following week at Buffalo in a game that was very, very winnable. And it sparked another debate as to whether you can win with Lamar Jackson in a situation in which you have to throw the football. I'm a staunch supporter of Lamar Jackson. The guy does nothing but win in the regular season. I don't know what his regular season record is to this point. I think it's something like 36-12 or something like that. 34-12, something along those lines. Like, he's a big time winner in the regular season. And in the regular season, you can win with Lamar Jackson because every week you're not playing against the cream of the crop. It's not the creme de la creme. All right, you're going to get Cincinnati's on your schedule. And you're going to get the Jacksonvilles on your schedule, and you're going to get the Giants and Washington and Dallas and some downtrodden teams during the course of a season that you're going to be able to take advantage of because you're just flat out better. And Lamar Jackson is the best athlete on the field. And they don't have a quarterback, a franchise guy on the other sideline that's going to help that team score 35 points. So you're going to be able to take advantage of some teams in the regular season. And Lamar Jackson is a guy right now at this point of his career that is a dynamic athlete playing quarterback. Still not the best from the pocket, although I think he has improved, but not to the point where you feel comfortable enough that you can win and win big when it matters most. So the question really is, can you win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson? If the answer is yes, there's nothing to talk about. When his contract is up, you re-sign him and we move forward. If there is any doubt, now we're into year 4 now. We're going into year 4 of Lamar Jackson. Keep that in mind. So we're getting pretty damn close to the Ravens having to make a decision. Do we want to re-up long-term with this guy? Or is he a glorified running back playing the quarterback position? You know how I feel about that statement. You know how I feel about that whole situation. And I mixed no words on this podcast when Bill Polian stated that Lamar Jackson is a running back essentially, or should do other drills, receiver drills and running back drills at the combine. But at some point, you're going to have to win games from the pocket in this league. And Lamar's been dynamic with his legs. And again, there are going to have to be plays made from the pocket at some point. We saw it in the Bills game to a lesser degree. It was windy as hell outside. We all know that. And, the situation wasn't ideal for throwing the football. That said, there were opportunities in that football game. There were missed field goals on both sides. But the game was 10-3. Ravens in striking distance. Got a wide open Hollywood Brown. Great play by Jerry Hughes. We've already talked about that. However, on the next snap, it's 3rd and goal from about the 8 or 9. And he throws a back-breaking pick six to Taron Johnson, who returns it 101 yards. And really, that was the ball game. 17-3. You go from potentially 10-10, no worse than 10-6, to now 17-3, and that would ultimately be your final score in that ball game. I think you can win with Lamar Jackson. I feel strongly about that, and I think he's going to get better as a passer. The question for me is, can the Ravens find the right mix of guys around him if they pay him big money? Because eventually, you're going to have to pay Lamar Jackson. You have to pay him massive amounts of money if you think you can win a chip with Lamar Jackson. If the answer is no, then maybe you franchise him, keep him for one more year. I mean, you just run him till the wheels fall off. Get as much, and I think Lamar's smart enough to understand what would be being done there if that were the case. Like, they're going to try to run me into the ground and then move on from me. Whatever the case may be, the Ravens have dedicated themselves to playing this brand of football to pretty much give themselves the best chance to win with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. And they've come up short every year in the postseason since Lamar has taken over as the team starter, starting in his rookie season, losing in Wild Card Weekend to the then San Diego Chargers. They follow that up the following year with a loss in the divisional round. Remember, the Ravens were the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs. Matter of fact, they were the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. And they lose to the Tennessee Titans in their very first game. And it wasn't even close. They got dominated in that game, 28-12. The following year, they go back to Tennessee, avenge that loss, get a little bit of a revenge. And that's an ice cold dish. Okay? That revenge is. Best served when it's cold-blooded. And that was some cold-blooded shit they did to the Titans. Marking up the Titans emblem and logo in the middle of the field. Yeah, it was some real cold-blooded, dirty Dick Dastardly shit. I loved it. Every second of it. But then they go on the road the following week. The Bills were there for the taking, and everyone expected, and I didn't feel this way in the moment, but when I look back on it, A lot of people thought the Ravens, including myself, I'm guilty, thought they were going to go on the road and beat the Buffalo Bills. And they didn't. And you could argue a big part of the reason why is because Lamar Jackson didn't get it done. The defense was exceptional. You hold that Buffalo Bills offense that was scoring damn near 40 on any and everybody that was showing up. You hold them to 17 points, and really 10 was, the defense was responsible for giving up because 7 of it was on a pick 6 thrown by Lamar Jackson. That's a game you're probably supposed to win. And they didn't win it. So I think there is a question there to be asked. I don't know if the Ravens feel like they can win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson or not. They were down in that Titans game. For anyone that says, oh, can't win once you get behind with Lamar Jackson. They were down 10 in that game early on, and he brought them back. Now, it was a slow, methodical bring back. It wasn't down, 21-3 in the third quarter, and Lamar Jackson starts throwing BBs all over the field. It wasn't one of those. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes down 24-0 to the Houston Texans early stages of the second quarter before going off on a barrage. But it was a comeback nonetheless. Something that a lot of people thought Lamar Jackson in the offs wasn't capable of. Whatever the case may be, I'm going to put that ball in your court. I think you can win a Super Bowl with Lamar Jackson. I'm interested to see how the Ravens go about surrounding him with talent if they do extend him out and give him the long-term contract that he deserves when it's time to pay him. Because we see what this is around the league and what you have to do to keep your franchise quarterback. And Lamar is one of the best in the league right now. He's a playmaker. He's a playmaker. And they're going to have to pay him. And after they pay him, how do they surround him with talent? I still don't know if they've done a good enough job of surrounding him with talent now. I think they got some stuff that they need to find more creative ways to use. I think Devin Duvernay can be a problem, other than just jet sweeps and, wide receiver screens and little quick hitters to get him the football. I think he can actually do some other things. Maybe they'll explore a little bit more of that next year. Didn't want to put too much on his plate as a rookie. That's fine. I don't know what happened with Miles Boykin and why he hasn't been better, but he's just meh right now. We're going into year 3 of Miles Boykin, and it doesn't feel like I've seen all that much growth out of him in this Ravens offense, at least. I think we're starting to scratch the surface on Hollywood Brown and what he can truly be. To me, he is a number 1 wide receiver in this league, but we really haven't seen it consistently in Baltimore. That could be Lamar, that could be the play calling, that could be a confluence of both. It could be a number of things. Lamar seems to have an infatuation with getting the football. And you know what I've realized is that mobile quarterbacks seem to have this infatuation with the tight end position. Well, for whatever reason. Maybe that's the guy that they see the quickest, they're right over the ball, whatever the case may be. Lamar seems to throw his best ball and seem his most comfortable when he's throwing the football to his tight ends. Mark Andrews is one of the best receiving tight ends in all of football. And I think there is some talent at that position. Nick Boyle and some of the other guys that they've had over the years at the tight end position. I think they do a really good job of stockpiling talent at the tight end position. That said, in the running back position, they keep talent on deck, which is why they could do what they did to Mark Ingram at the end of last season, pretty much saying, hey, dude, we're going to release you and we don't want you getting hurt. So, yeah, we're just going to make you inactive for the last 7 games of the season or so. We're going to roll with J.K. Dobbins. You understand, right? It's a business. You understand. He's like, yeah, I get it. So, anyway, there's talent, but I feel like there could be more talent around Lamar Jackson. I don't think there's nearly enough talent at receiver for whatever reason. It's not for a lack of trying. They've tried. And again, Devin Duvernay may turn out to be better than what we've seen already. He's shown flashes to be dynamic, but I just don't think he's been a big enough part of the offense. He's a rookie, so again, I'm not asking for him to come in and just tear shit up. But I know he can be a bigger part of their offense. But again, it's not for the lack of trying. I don't know if they've done a good enough job or not surrounding him with talent. We'll see. But I can tell you this much. They've done a great job of setting this offense up around his talents and putting him in positions to succeed. Now, have they put the right guys around him? That's another question for another day. However, I do think they've done a tremendous job of putting him in positions, particularly Lamar, to succeed. Now he's got to do the thing that we've seen these elite quarterbacks in the league do, and that's take the next step on his own. Be able to make things happen despite the play call. That's the next evolution of Lamar Jackson is, hey, on 3rd and 8, they give me this concept here. And where I normally like to go with the football is covered. But on the backside of this, I got a bang 8. And it's open. I got to hit it. Front side is where I want to go. It's covered. Go through my progressions. See that I got a backside bang 8 and I got to stick it there. Can he do that consistently from the pocket? Love Lamar off schedule. Love Lamar when shit breaks down. When you've got protection and it's 3rd and 7, can you make the right decision when it's not right in front of your face? Can he start to do that and make an accurate throw consistently? When the other team knows you've got to throw it and you got to have it and they're not allowing you to use your legs. I thought the Bills did a tremendous job of this mush rush. Just kind of like, nobody get up the field, nobody get out of your rush lanes. We're going to really crowd the line of scrimmage. If we need to blitz, we'll bring an extra defender, but we're going to make it hell for him to get out of here. He ran into a couple of sacks. He ran into some pressure, trying to escape, but he couldn't. Thought he kept some read options that he shouldn't have kept in that game. You can only run so many RPOs before the defense catches on. And if I'm playing the Ravens, I'll let you have some yards on the ground. Gus Edwards can average 5.5 and J.K. Dobbins can average 4.7. I'll let you have some. What I won't do is let Lamar Jackson hurt me. Because that's usually when shit gets out of hand. When Lamar gets involved, usually that's when you get into trouble. Make him beat you with his arm. Until he proves that he can do that, it's going to be tough on the Ravens. They can go 13-3 or 14-3 if they add that 17th game, which I think is coming this upcoming season. They can go 12-5. That's cool. What are they going to do when they get to the offs and you're not playing Jacksonville and you're not playing Cincinnati and you're not playing a team that you can handle? You're not playing Washington or the Giants or Dallas or Philadelphia. You're not playing Carolina this time. You're not playing the Jets. What do you do when the team across from you can score points and they've jumped on you early? Can Lamar bring you back? We've seen in 3 playoff games out of 4 tries, the answer is no. I don't think it's a definite no. But he's going to have to be better. And I know there are a lot of people out there that don't think he's any good or don't think he can win big games. I am one that is on the other side of the fence. I beg to differ. I think you can win with Lamar Jackson. And I think he's going to continue to improve. He hears all of the noise. He hears it. He knows what he has to do to get better. Now the question is, can he do it? And the Ravens have to help him. They've got to add more talent. For as dynamic as he is, there needs to be more guys out there that he can get the football to that can win. So we'll see. If Willie Snead, and this is no disrespect to Willie, but I've already told you guys this a long time ago. This is a Louie T-ism right here. Dropping a gem on your melon. This is the gem dropping session, so I'm dropping a gem on your melon. Anytime somebody uses the phrase, I don't mean any disrespect or no disrespect intended, and then that's followed by a conjunction, disrespect is going to follow. Let me repeat that one more time for you. Catch this gem I'm dropping on your melon. Okay? This Louie T-ism. Anytime someone says, no disrespect intended, or I don't mean any disrespect, and then a conjunction follows, like and, or but, however, disrespect is coming after that word. After that conjunction, disrespect, every word of it will be disrespect. So I don't mean to disrespect Willie Snead, but there it is. Willie Snead is no one's number 2 wide receiver in this league. And that's essentially what he was for the Baltimore Ravens last year and the year before that. Their second best wide receiver, not target. Not when you start adding in the tight ends. I'm just talking about wide receivers. If Willie Snead is your second best wide receiver target, you have a problem. And the Ravens have a problem at wide receiver. One that they can fix this offseason. Plenty of really top-notch wide receivers on the market. Go get you one. Go get you a Corey Davis. Go get you a Juju Smith-Schuster. That might be a little bit pricey. I'm not saying, I'm just saying he fits a Raven. He looks like a Raven. He smells like a Raven. Does all the dirty work. Physical, blocks in the run game. Catches everything. But there's plenty of those dudes available in free agency, like an Allen Robinson. Again, that might be a little bit pricey for you, man. You might need something on the lower tier, like a Nelson Aguilar or something. Look, there's plenty of stuff out there to be had. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, go do something. The Ravens have tried to go the cheap route, the draft route, and I get that. And that's usually a good route to take if you're having success. But you're a veteran team. You're ready to win. Not now, like right now. So I suggest you go out and do something the free agent route. That's what free agency is for. When you're right there, you're on the cusp, and you just need a little help, a little boost, a little push over the top. Free agency isn't for the team that stinks and think they're going to fast track their way to winning. No, you got to build through the draft. You supplement through free agency. I can't stress that enough. Well, the Ravens have built through the draft. They've done some really good things through the draft. Excellent job of drafting. We always credit and laud and praise the Ravens for how they draft. It's time to add a piece in free agency to put them over the top at the receiver position. This is the year to do it. If your team is in need of a wide receiver, and we're going to talk about free agency next week, this is the year to do it. So I'm going to state my position once more, and then we're going to move on. I think you can win with Lamar Jackson in the offs, and you can win a chip with Lamar Jackson. I do think that. A lot of people think that you can't, and that's fine. He's 1-3 in the postseason right now, so he deserves to be questioned. He's been spectacular in the regular season, but when the playoffs have come, he's come up short. He's been small. He's got a lot of time to change that narrative. Plenty of time. We'll see what happens with Lamar Jackson. But that's my question to you guys. Love to hear your answers on that. Can Lamar Jackson be a Super Bowl winning quarterback in this league? And if you're the Ravens, do you extend him? Or do you go in a different direction after that rookie deal is up? Fascinating stuff. We're not there yet. Ravens still got 2 years to figure this thing out. But I think I know what they're going to do, ultimately.